Welcome to another episode of SacTown Underground. I'm your host, Keith Jouganatos.
And I'm Leo Antolin.
And Leo, we got a great show for the folks at home. Tell them what we're going to have on store for today.
Well, we're going to start off with a community calendar powered by Sacramento365. Sean Farmer will be reporting on location after that at the Ray House, a little museum out there in Galt.
And part 4 of our InfoComm feature, yes, because the first 3 parts weren't enough. We'll give you part 4 of InfoComm. That's going to be great to see.
Yeah. And I can't wait to hear about this whole Raider situation you keep talking about, Keith, after
that. That's going to be very interesting. And after that, we're going to have our very own Matt Gilliam coming up with his new show here on Access Sac with the esports gaming community. It features everything about video games. Have Matt talk about that later.
Yeah, watch people watching people. And then, to close us out, Tay Yaniis will be regaling us with a musical performance of Soul. And now, here is our community calendar powered by Sacramento365.
November 22nd, Run to Feed the Hungry at CSUS Sacramento. October 31st and through November 4th, Broadway Sacramento presents On Your Feet at the Community Center Theater. November 4th, Run the Parkway at William B. Pond Recreation Arena. November 10th, Suicide Girls Blackheart Burlesque at Crest Theater. November 16th, Kevin Hart's in town, the Irresponsible Tour at Golden One Center. November 17th, Best of Sacramento Party at Sacramento Convention Center. November 18th, Justin Timberlake, the Man of the Woods Tour at Golden One Center. And as usual, Leo, a great month of events here in our city, Sacramento, California, where our Sacramento365 calendar, always great things to do here in the city.
Up next, Sean Farmer is reporting on location at Galt, at the Ray House. It's a museum, it's a ranch. Take it away, Sean.
Hi, my name is Sean Farmer, and I'm here at the McFarland Living History Ranch in Galt, California. I'm with the Historical Society, and we thought we'd do a little piece on the house. So the McFarland Ranch belonged to Mr. John McFarland, was built in 1876, and this was his ranch. He was a large landowner and socialite in the area, and so the house, you can see, is been restored to pretty much original condition. I'm currently having the house, some work done on the house, and have it painted soon. So some of the house is a little rough looking on some of the sides. We're going to go inside in a minute, talk about the house a little bit and more of the history on the house.
Great work there, Sean. Leo, the Ray House has been there since 1876. Good to see that it's still going strong in 2018.
Yeah, and it's always interesting to see what life was like in California back then.
Up next is part 4 of our behind-the-scenes look at the InfoComm convention that our team went to in Las Vegas this summer, as our very own Ivan Gonzalez, who helped build the studio truck here at Access Sacramento, takes us into part 4 of InfoComm. Ivan, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Ivan Gonzalez with 2E Pro Gear. Thank you for watching. Here's our 4K flight pack. It's rolling up. All right. This is our 4K 2-way flight pack. We're using the Blackmagic equipment. We're using their brand new cameras right there. Those are 12G. We have a 8-10 40mm switcher, the scopes, the control panel. Here are the recorders, an out-down cross converter. We have the audio monitoring station, intercom, 2-channel intercom, and IFP to talk to your talent. Here's the switcher. We're waiting for the control panel for the cameras, which is going to be in this area here, similar to this. And you're able to do live productions with this flight pack. It's mobile. You can bring the monitor up and down, stretch this out, and just run your video cables. On the side of the flight pack, you have the I/O panel. You have the video and audio connections. All right. And on this side, we have the 3-wide IP 4K flight pack. This consists of the Panasonic 4000 cameras. They're super 35mm cameras. The remote pan controls are here. We're running fibers, empty fiber for those, and we're using the NT1 to convert the quad out of those cameras, and we convert them to 12G and then to the network, and we bring them in via NDI. NDI lets us bring video sources via IP, and that's what we're showcasing here. So we have 2 4K cameras. We have DDRs. This is the TC1 switcher. It's able to bring in sources remotely from another country. Or in New York, we're in Las Vegas right now, so if we wanted to, we could, if we had it set up, we would be able to bring their camera sources into the switcher and play it live. Here's our rasterizer for the shader. We're using the Aja Ultra Plus recorders from AJA. We have a 12x12 HD switcher. The Clearcom, it's IP based as well, a time code generator, and an audio router as well. Microphones are there. So this system here, it's all IP based. It's a full 4K IP-based solution. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but we have an I/O panel here on the side. All the outputs and input sources are on the side, the SIM connections as well. And if you need to travel with it, we also have a sprinter vehicle that it goes in, and just as well as the other flight pack, they both can go into the sprinter. All right. Thank you for watching.
And now Keith has brought you some football coverage. He's going to be talking about what's going on currently in the NFL, all about that Raiders situation. Can't wait to learn more. Tell us, Keith, what's going on?
Thank you, Leo. At one point in time when the game was in its prime, the autumn wind resembled a raider, swagging and pillaging about. They knocked their opponents round and upside down and laughed when they conquered and won. The Oakland Raiders resembled the anarchists, the biker gang of the National Football League. And when the game was in its prime in the 70s and 80s, they were the royalty of the National Football League. The Raiders won championships. They were a part of some of the most memorable games in the history of the NFL. They had some of the most memorable players: Ken Stabler, Fred Biletnikoff, Gene Upshaw. The list goes on. And of course, they had one of the greatest coaches of all time in John Madden. But somewhere between the 90s and the new millennium, and the Raiders trying to move every chance they got, and former owner Al Davis trying to fight former commissioner Pete Rozelle to move that team wherever he wanted to, the Raiders and the autumn wind that once blew in their favor has their fans now resembling blowing chunks. The Raiders fell on hard times. Their team has been horrible for many, many years. They've had one playoff appearance in the last 15, ever since they went to that Super Bowl back in 2002. They've had horrible draft picks. There was Jamarcus Russell. There was Darius Hayward-Bay. There was Robert Gallery. The list goes on, but the fact of the matter resembles this. The autumn wind that once blew in the favor of the Raiders to intimidate their opponents now has their fans blowing chunks for the last 10 plus years. So what did the Raiders do? They relied on their past to get them back to where they want to go in the future. And they hired former coach John Gruden. Gruden, without a shadow of a doubt, has been the most successful Raiders coach in the new millennium. He came within a horrible tuck rule of a possible Super Bowl berth. He also was involved in an AFC Championship game where his starting quarterback, Rich Gannon, was knocked out early on in the game. You want history, you want prestige, you want somebody that knows what it takes to win, you want somebody that embodies what the Oakland Raiders are, then Chucky Gruden is your man. Except now, this Chucky Gruden is different. For whatever reason, for whatever the life of me, I can't understand where I remember this John Gruden from. He's totally different now. And how is he different? Well, he's making it a whole different team. He let go of punter Marquette King. And then, the most shocking thing ever, the Oakland Raiders trading Khalil Mack, an all-pro defensive linebacker, to the Chicago Bears for a couple of first-round picks, and in the process, dealing Mack, they gave up a second-round pick. Listen, there are just some things you don't do. I don't care if you're John Gruden. I don't care if you're John Madden. There's just some things you do not do. For example, you do not try to fight the bouncers outside of high water. You do not try to talk about Cardi B's kid and expect nothing to happen. And you do not, under any circumstances, try to trade Khalil Mack. It's just something you don't do. The Raiders' defense was already horrible as it is without Mack. Now, God knows what's going to happen this Monday when Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp and Todd Gurley and all those guys take the field. The Raiders once embodied what it meant to be a tough, hard-nosed football team. Lately, they've embodied what it means to be a horrible football team. And that comes from a whole bunch of things that happened in the past, and that comes from a whole bunch of things in the past that the Raiders did not do. The Raiders did not draft well in the new millennium. The Raiders have not had great personnel decisions. The Raiders have not been able to keep a coach for years and years. And now on top of this, the Raiders want to justify trading Khalil Mack after they gave their head coach a $100 million contract. Listen, I like John Gruden as much as anybody. But for $100 million, you damn well better be able to pay the linebacker that's been wreaking havoc on opposing teams' quarterbacks for the last couple of years. What kind of message does that send if I'm the Oakland Raiders and I'm moving to Las Vegas and I'm trying to establish a new terrain? Hey, if you're really good, that's fine. But don't expect us to pay you. And when you want us to pay you, we'll trade you if you have any complaints. It does not send a message to a locker room that you are fully invested in your players. It does not send the message that you are fully invested in winning football games. It sends the message that you are fully invested in being cheap, in being cutting costs, and just overall not willing to spend the hard-earned money it takes to put a good football team out on the field. Enter Mark Davis, son of Al, who really has no idea what he's doing. It's kind of like Tommy Boy in the beginning, when Tommy's father passed away, and he has no idea how to run that company. Pulls his hair out, goes wild. Mark Davis is the spoiled brat that was handed one of the greatest football teams ever established. And going into their final years of Oakland, you would think that the Raiders would try to establish some good common ground with the fans that have suffered for years and years, that have been through Jamarcus Russell, that have been through Darius Hayward-Bay. Not really. Instead, the Raiders are leaving Oakland with two middle fingers up and their foot on the gas pedal. They're a part of a divorce, and they've already remarried, and the ink hasn't even dried on the contract yet. It's disrespectful for anyone to try and insult your fan base after all that you've done to them. The Oakland Raider fans are some of the most passionate fans in the whole National Football League universe, and they don't deserve what's going on. They don't deserve to see one of the best players traded for nickels on the dollar. They don't deserve to watch their team walk out the front door and have them insulted on the way out. The Raider Nation is some of the most diehard fans the National Football League has to offer. But the way they've been treated is sickening, it's disgusting, it makes me want to vomit. And like I said, the autumn wind was once a Raider. The wind that blew to intimidate opponents, now that wind blows, and the fans are blowing chunks in the process. Congratulations, Mark Davis. You have shown the Raider Nation that you do not care about all the hard-earned money that they've tried to spend. All you care about is yourself. And maybe that's fine. But just know this. Karma doesn't care about money. It doesn't care about how you leave. Karma will always find its way around. Mark Davis, I think you're about to experience some karma, my friend. And that's going to do it.
Well, thanks for that football news, Keith. It'll be interesting to see what happens next.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next, and prepare for the worst, expect the best. Up next, there is a new show in the works here at Access Sacramento, and our own Matthew Gilliam is in the works of producing it and getting the right people to be a part of it. It revolves around the esports community, the video games to be exact. It is a billion-dollar market and one of the newest crazes around the entire world. For years, video games have been in style and all the jazz for a lot of people. And we finally have a show here at Access Sacramento that's going to tie all that up together in a ribbon. So next up, I sit down with our very own Matthew Gilliam as he talks to me about this new show revolving around the esports community. A new esports gaming show is coming to Access Sacramento, and the man behind that is joining me right here is my producer, Matthew Gilliam. Matt, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Keith.
Okay, so explain to me what the goal is of this show, how did it come about, and what inspired you to make this show possible?
Well, you know, Keith, I've actually been a long-time video game fanatic. So not to give away my age, but I started gaming back in the late 70s. Yeah, that's right. I was like an infant doing gaming and stuff. And so that interest has actually stuck with me throughout my life. It's something that for a lot of people goes away when they get a little bit older and stuff. But for me, that interest has actually remained. And so I used to watch a television channel called G4 TV, which covered all things video games and stuff. But I think with the recent happenings in the video game world, that network went defunct. So I decided that we as people in the area and actually globally need to have a one-stop shop for video game information and video game culture.
Indeed. So what kind of people are you looking for when you want to make this show happen? What kind of people will you be looking for to make this show work and just have that attitude and that right mindset for your show?
Well, you know, that's a great question. Actually, what we're looking for, since video game landscape has changed so much, we're looking for people that actually do streaming of their games. And, you know, some people are actually celebrities doing this now, and they have viewage that exceeds some TV networks just for a single person that is playing video games. So we're looking for some people that do that type of thing. We're also looking for people that play video games competitively. In other words, there are actually some people now, like pro athletes, who live off an income from playing video games. So we're looking for those kind of guys as well, and girls. And we're also looking for people that are in the development world. In other words, people that program video games, and also anything that's related to video game culture, like for example cosplay, or people that collect toys that are actually out of video games and things like that. And so we're just looking for people that do those kind of things so that we can have them host and actually interview on the show, and basically also have such a actually great personality that is fitting for television format.
That's great. So with this show, obviously, there's a lot of intricate parts that are going on. When it comes to your staff, what are the type of people that you're going to need to make this possible? Because I can imagine you will need some people who are experienced in the gaming community.
Absolutely, and you know, we're looking for people that are actually much more experienced than myself within the gaming community. And so we're looking for people that actually have a know-how on how to do the streaming of video games and how to actually hold and conduct tournaments and competitions and things. So and actually camera crew and everything that entails, from camera operators, people that know lighting, people that know sound and everything, because we are looking to do the show in studio, but we're actually also going to go out on locations and cover events and things like that. And so we need those people with the technical know-how that know how to make everything work together.
Awesome. Final question. What is the timetable for this show to get up and running, and when can people expect to watch it?
Well, you know, we are hoping to have this show up in about 2 months. We've done a lot of groundwork in terms of pre-production, planning, getting all the pieces together and decided that we need. And so with the support of Access and the support of some other community organizations, such as, well, not a community organization, but an actual company, such as EA Gaming. We also have CoinOp Arcade that we're talking with, and then some of the employees from Intel that design video game chips are actually chipping in to help make this show a go. So we are actually just at that point where once we get our cast and crew together, we are ready to rock and roll.
All right, well, soon, Matthew Gilliam, your show will be ready to rock and roll. We cannot wait to see it. It is coming soon to you, a new esports gaming show here on Access Sacramento. The man behind it, Matthew Gilliam. Thank you for joining me again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Leo, great interview with Matthew. I can't wait to see what is in store with this new show coming up soon.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are going to be coming together to make something that hasn't been seen in a while. And now, Tay Yaniis is the name of an R&B/soul singer, very talented here in Sacramento. Keith is about to sit down with Tay, interview him a little, followed by a live musical performance. Very excited for this. Take us there, Keith.
The next gentleman to my right is a great combination of soul and hip-hop blended into one. Originally from Dallas, Texas, but he's made our hometown here in Sacramento, California his second home. The man to my right is Tay Yaniis, and he's got an EP called the Soul Jones Collection. Nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah, man. It's good, man. It's love. It's good to be here.
Okay, so you were telling me in the break you have been recording officially for 10 years. Talk to the people who might not know about your style. What do you like to do when you go in the recording booth and try to make this music of yours?
My biggest thing is I'm really big on live instrumentation because I actually played the trumpet and the violin. So I'm really big on live instrumentation when it comes down to my music. Now, with me being a hip-hop artist, I like to blend different genres like neo soul, soulful house, jazz, and a little bit of reggae all into one. And yeah, man, that's how we wind up coming up with the project, the Soul Jones Collection, because it's just a blend of just good hip-hop, good live instrumentation music. We put it all together, and we got a great project.
And he's talking about that EP right now, the Soul Jones Collection, as I have right here in my hand. You can see now, Tay, who are these two great dapper-looking gentlemen right here on the cover of your EP, my friend?
Yes, those are my boys. Shout out to Tay, shout out to Bari. You know what I'm saying? Those are my sons, and I'm a big family man. So that was the biggest thing. It's like I just want to teach a child the way that they should go, and they love dad's styles. Of course they always gonna follow you. So we got together. And, it's my debut project, so I dedicated it to my boys.
All right, and a great-looking album, great group of family right here for you. All right, so with that being said, you are going to perform something for us. So
yes, sir.
Tell me, what will you be performing for us today, Mr. Tay Yaniis?
Yeah, so today I'll be doing my single, My Coffee Brown, which is out right now on iTunes. And also I'll be performing another track, which is a little bit newer. That's not on that project, but it's on the Soul Jones Collection Part 2, entitled Queen's Crown.
All right, well, if you're looking for an EP, it is the Soul Jones Collection. And now here to perform My Coffee Brown from that EP and some new, fresh tracks, this is Mr. Tay Yaniis.
Yes, yes. All right. Yes. You know it's love, y'all. You know it's love. It's love, y'all. Yo, it's love. One time. My coffee brown, my coffee brown, yeah. Said this to fit. Something you can fit. You know it's real. Look here. My definition of exquisite is here. Mocha skin, coffee eyes, kinky long brown hair. We dig poetic sides and her vibe got us perfectly paired. Something forever search you, but to match you is rare. See her mind like my skylight flares. We step up on that scene like we slicker this year. And see it's a blessing to share my world with. Someone I can embrace God's word with. For real, we bout as solid as a fossil, that's the way that we rock. We was made for each other just like keys to a lock. And see, by faith it was my magnetism that I saw the beauty within and looked past my vision, just like a short-term goal. Like keep my mind on her, something like calm sense the way the light shines on her. For every king to prosper, a Cleopatra's needed. So for my coffee brown, there's nothing less than queen treatment. See, I tell you the truth. Say I can't even lie because I love me some you. Hey yo, I'm digging your style, I'm digging your grace, I'm digging your vibe. I dig that you down because you're my coffee brown. 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 Yeah, one time I said when I look into her eyes, say I can see a path of a soul sublime. See, compatible signs intertwine, creates an elegant vibe. She's from the hood, but I'm intrigued by her intelligent mind. She's my comfort when I'm home from the grind. That's why I will always stay 10 toes down. See, she's powerful on the inside, beautiful on the surface. To my soul she feels good. On Saturday afternoon, we in tune with the swoon, letting the smooth bloom from notes and jazz tunes. I love the mood blue, plus I love my coffee brown. Whenever she needs me, I'm the anchor that holds her down. Plus I'll be the spirit that'll lift her up. The heavens looking up when they look at us. For every king to prosper, a Cleopatra's needed. So for my coffee brown, there's nothing less than queen treatment. I tell you the truth, I can't even lie because I love me some you. Hey yo, I'm digging your style. I'm digging your grace, I'm digging your vibe. I dig that you're down because you're my coffee brown. Cause you're my coffee brown. Because you're my coffee brown. Because you're my coffee brown. Yeah, you know it's love, y'all. Yeah. Cause you're my coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. My coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. Yeah. The love of my life, no need to think twice. I'm so glad that you're here. We gon' get it right. We gon' get it right because you're my coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. My coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. Yeah, you know it's love, y'all. Yeah, my coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. My coffee brown, brown, my coffee brown. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Hey, peace and love, Sacramento. It's your man Tay Yaniis. This is my single, My Coffee Brown, off the Soul Jones collection. It's out right now. You can get it on all digital retailers, iTunes, Spotify, whatever your music choice. I just wanted you to sit back, groove with me one time. Yeah, My Coffee Brown.